What is going on, my AP World peeps? We have video number 11 for you, the Mauryan and Gupta Empires. Two very important empires that you should be familiar with. You could be writing an essay on them one day, so let's get going. All right, the Mauryan Empire began under the leadership of Gupta Maurya, not to be confused with the Gupta Empire, even though his name is Gupta. It is a different person altogether. Now, his government handbook was known as the Arthashastra, which helped explain how the government would be run. So it had methods for collecting taxes, administering trade, and even dealing with foreign relations. And the Mauryan Empire controlled much of present-day India and Pakistan between 322 BCE and 180 BCE. So we have the Indian subcontinent here. Almost all of it is under its control, and then Pakistan as well. So let's discuss the government structure. It was a large bureaucratic government, as was the case with many of these empires we've talked about in period 2. The empire itself was divided into provinces, and each province was ruled by a prince. And this is very similar to Persian satraps that we discussed in a previous video. So you want to make connections between these various empires and note the similarities in any essay you are writing. Now, a council of ministers assisted the princes in their administration of the government, and a province was further divided into districts, and they were led by a minister, and they would be in charge of government officials within that province, and they would be in charge of regulating trade as well. And a large army helped keep control of this empire. Very important to know, a lot of these empires have very strong armies to help keep control and regulate its affairs. And this large army is paid for by taxes. So we'll see a lot of taxes are being paid to help this large bureaucratic government. All right, let's talk about Ashoka Maurya. Very important dude that you should be familiar with. He ruled from 268 to 232 BCE. And he fought extensive battles to gain control of parts of India. Hundreds of thousands of people died in these battles. He will have a conversion to Buddhism, and he will kind of renounce his violent ways. And he built monasteries and sent missionaries across his kingdom. So if you're discussing at all the spread of Buddhism, make sure you include Ashoka Maurya and his building of monasteries and sending missionaries across his empire. So some key ideas under his rule you should be familiar with. The infrastructure was built via tax system. There's that tax system again. Roads throughout his kingdom were built, which helped connect the empire and also would lead to an increase in trade. He also ended slavery in the empire, a significant achievement, and he traveled throughout the empire to help keep rule. He was very hands-on. He wanted to see his empire for himself and have contact with all the different regions. The edicts of Ashoka, holy cow, star this, circle, underline, highlight, draw some bells, whistles, arrows, whatever you have to do, make sure you know these edicts, also known as the rock and pillar edicts. These were laws that were engraved on rocks and pillars, hence the name rock and pillar, throughout the kingdom. And this is similar to laws like Hammurabi's Code. That would be a great potential synthesis point when you're writing your essay. Demonstrate your knowledge, be like, yo, this is a lot like Hammurabi's Code, and then explain what Hammurabi's Code was. Okay, let's talk about the decline of the Mauryans. Not long after his death, Ashoka's death, the empire began to decline. There really just was not a leader with the same skills and charisma and uniting factor that Ashoka had. So the Mauryans are going to decline shortly after his death. Now, a long time later, we have the Gupta Empire. And you take a look at this map of India, you can see this is 375 CE or AD, so this is hundreds of years after the Mauryan Empire. They reigned from the 3rd century CE to 590 CE, and they often traded with European merchants and other areas on the Silk Road. We're going to have a special video dedicated to the Silk Road and other trade routes, but be familiar with that. So what was the government structure like under the Gupta Empire? Well, like the Mauryan Empire, the Gupta Empire was divided into provinces, and they did not oversee the empire like Ashoka did. They took more of a hands-off approach. Allies, instead, they were the ones that ruled local government, so they were not nearly as involved as Ashoka was under the Mauryan Empire. So some Gupta achievements you should know. Medicine, you have hospitals that were built throughout the empire. Medical practices such as resetting broken bones, skin grafts. Inoculation, which is giving somebody a weaker form of a disease to help stop the spread of it. I was going to show a picture of resaying broken bones or skin grafts, but it was just too nasty, so this slide is going to be blank. When it comes to math, they developed the numerical numbers 0 through 9, which made addition much easier and really is going to catch on throughout the entire world. So the decline of the Guptas. There was a much more decentralized government than the Mauryans, as we talked about, and then the White Huns, they're going to invade from this area in green here to the northwest of the Indian subcontinent around 500 CE. And by 550 CE, the empire will collapse. So let's do a quick recap. We have the Mauryan Empire. Chandragupta Maurya, the founder of it, and the Arthashastra, the book on how to govern. Ashoka, don't forget about him, his conversion to Buddhism and his hands-on administration, and know the government structure under the Mauryan Empire as well. Now for the Gupta Empire, definitely be able to identify and explain some math and science achievements and the importance of trade in both of these empires. All right, guys, look forward to seeing you back here for video number 12. Confucianism, Taoism, and legalism. It's a good one. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and also subscribe if you have not already so you can get updates on all future videos. Thanks for watching. Best of luck this year and have a good day.